Hello, boys and girls. This is Mrs. Small, and tonight I am here to read to you tonight's bedtime story. It's one of my favorite. Actually, it is my favorite all-time David Biedrzycki book. I like a lot of them. I like probably all of them, but this one is my favorite. Groundhog's Runaway Shadow, because I love Phil Groundhog, and I love him. He's my favorite. So I thought I would share this book with you. If you remember, David Biedrzycki was the author who came to do a virtual visit at our school over Zoom earlier this school year. So I thought I would share this book. It is almost Groundhog's Day, so I thought it would be a fun book to share. And again, this is Groundhog's Runaway Shadow by David Biedrzycki. In the front of the book, there is some artwork that David puts a lot of artwork in the fronts of his books, and he autographed this book to the students of PCE. Is Your Shadow Reading? David Biedrzycki, 2020. Here is our title page. And here we go. The only thing that could keep up with little Phil Groundhog was his shadow. No matter how fast he ran or how high he jumped, his shadow followed his every move. Whether he laughed or he cried, his shadow was always right there beside him. Even when Phil felt small, his shadow could make him feel bigger. Pretty hippos out walking with gorillas down my street. Phil likes karaoke. But everyone grows up. Even groundhogs and their shadows. Grown-up groundhogs are expected to act a certain way. But Phil's shadow had other plans. Phil's idea of the perfect vacation was taking the bus to the local beach. I don't blame him. It'd be fun to be on the beach right now. Shadow dreamed of visiting faraway places. Phil loved scary movies. Shadow, not so much. Phil enjoyed eating dandelions, clover, and tree bark. All that healthy stuff. Shadow craved something spicy, like tacos. Phil liked to be on time. Shadow liked to stop and smell the roses. At first, Phil found Shadow's behavior amusing, but a little off-key. Oh. Phil's friends found it amazing, sweet, and a little burp. Gross. Ew. But soon, it got annoying. And then, downright embarrassing. P.U. And look, the shadow is blaming Phil for that one. Phil had had enough. Why can't you be like other shadows? I wish you would just go away. Shadow was crushed. He got angry, but then he thought about it. Phil said he should go away, and he'd always wanted to travel, so that night, he's got his suitcase. That night and the next morning, and a couple of days later, and into the following week, that's exactly what he did. Back at home, Phil tried everything to find his shadow. Oh, shadow, where are you? He posted signs. Lost. Have you seen my shadow? If found, keep shadow out of shade and call 555-5555 immediately. Groundhog seeks shadow. He used that newspaper. Fun-loving homebuddy Groundhog is looking for lost Shadow. Please come back, Shadow, so we can hibernate together. I promise things will be different. So that's the ad he took out in the paper, in the newspaper. Then he saw Shadow making news. In the newspaper, the headlines read, "Mysterious Shadow seen at Eiffel Tower. Shadow meets the Queen. Shadow to star in movie. Shadow rocks the White House." He was making news without him. Halfway around the world, Shadow realized something was missing. He had no one to share in his adventures. Everyone has their shadow, every shadow has their body with them. Not him. He's by himself, feeling a little lonely. The thought of searching for Shadow scared Phil silly. He'd have to travel far and wide. But the next morning, and a couple of days later, and into the following week, that's exactly what he did. He searched. Shadow! Shadow, shadow, shadow! And searched. Shadow? And searched some more. All over the world. Finally, when he could search no longer, he had an idea. He began to play. And when he did, he heard someone gently accompanying him. The two friends played together, this time in perfect harmony. And the next morning, and a couple of days later, and forever after, that's exactly what they did. Except sometimes. On February 2nd. Shadow? There's Shadow running away. Remember, if the groundhog doesn't see his shadow, we get an early spring. And then some more artwork at the end of our story. I hope you enjoyed my favorite David Biedrzycki book, Groundhog's Runaway Shadow. And I hope you have a fantastic weekend. Bye.